Welcome back, everybody. If you're new, my name's Nicholas, and this is Investing Against the Grain. Merry Christmas Eve. Happy Christmas Eve. I don't know how it really goes. Either way, I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're with your loved ones and your family, and I hope you're just having a great day before Christmas. And for those of you who don't celebrate Christmas, I hope you're still enjoying the time off if you're in the United States or anywhere else in the world. If not, I hope you're having a good day. Now, in today's episode, I want to touch on whether or not you've missed the run on Tesla. Is it too late? Have you essentially missed all the gains to be had with Tesla? So we're just going to talk a little bit about what's to come, what might happen, what might not happen, and see if you're too late, right? Have you missed the bull run in Tesla? But before we do that, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, ring that bell. Do us a favor also, if you need any extra merchandise or anything, check out our store right here. The link's down below in the description. All right, with that said, let's dive a little bit into Tesla. We're first going to take a look at Tesla as a company as far as its share price and see what that's doing. So here in Webull, we can see just from this last trading day, we can see that Tesla had a very nice run, right? It was almost 6%, up $58 to close at $1,067, and it ended with, in the aftermarket, up about another $2.30. But what I really want to do is, this is great and all, right? I mean, we can see this, we can see how it traded throughout the day. But what I'm more interested in is seeing this from a daily perspective. So let's go ahead, let's do a 1 month view, and let's switch this over to the daily perspective. And so here, I think there's several very interesting technical barriers that we've crossed and resistance points that are going to prove to be support in the future. So the first one I want to talk about is this gap line, right? So right here, this is where we popped up on the gap. You can see before this was a resistance. We hit right here, we bounced back down. We tried to test that again, and the next day we gapped up. And so that was the first point of resistance that then became a support for us. Since then, Tesla retreated all the way back down. On that same support, we dipped a little bit down below it, but then that's where we found our support, and we have since climbed higher. So that's number one from a technical perspective. Number two, from a technical perspective, look at this channel we were in. So we were riding this channel up and to the right, exactly what we want to see. And then that's when we broke out. Now, as you can tell, this top line in the channel became a resistance for us. So every time we hit it, we'd come back down. We'd hit it, we'd come back down. And then here, the third time, we hit it and we broke out. So because we broke out, that resistance now became a support. Of course, we did dip down, and we honestly kind of blew past this channel, this upper line from the channel, but we have since broken back up above it, and so now that is a support once again. And so now if I zoom in, and keep in mind, this is on a daily perspective. If I zoom in here, I had a few other supports that you could see. You saw that we went up and we hit this trend line that's coming down here. We hit that, we bounced down, and then we found a support right here at about, call it 115. And then we went back up, we hit that same resistance, right? That same downward line, and we came back and we found that support, went up, and then we finally started to go down. Since then, as of yesterday, the last trading day we have broken up past that 115 support again. So that's very bullish, right? So now we have three supports that we have underneath us that we have gone above again. So every time we pass that resistance, it becomes a support. So you have the first one here, the second one right here in this channel, and now this third one here at 115. Now, the third major resistance is going to be this red line you see right here. So this is, if we pass this, if we break this red down to the right line, that means that we are essentially breaking out of this downtrend. So I'll zoom out again. Here you can see this red line. This is the downtrend. And so I have a feeling we might actually break this come Monday morning. So to get to that, let's see, this would be 24th. So about the 27th, we'd essentially have to get to about $1,108. So not too far from where we are right now, especially with these movements we've been seeing over the last few days. So this could easily happen. However, if we don't break out of this, we could see us retracing back down, and eventually you can see where we kind of squeeze here into this triangle. Now, from a technical perspective, what this tells us is that we do have room to run. We are starting to get some very good supports. We are moving higher, and we're getting more and more supports from breaking resistance. So This all points to being pretty bullish. So just from that perspective, I would say you have not missed a run on Tesla just yet. And just to mention, we have 52-week highs you can see over here at $1,243. We're currently sitting at $1,067. So you still have, just call it 10% roughly, 10% room to go up in your investment. 10% in any given year is a good investment. I mean, that's essentially beating the S&P 500, which I think is 7-8% roughly over, I think, a 30-year period. So just with that alone, it's a good investment from my perspective. Now, of course, we think long-term in this channel. We think about long-term returns. We talk about long-term investments. So this is really more so applicable for you if you're thinking, okay, I've heard about Tesla. I've heard about all these things. Or maybe I just finally rode in a Tesla, or I finally got it. I finally see what everyone's talking about. I want to invest. Well, it's at $1 trillion. It costs $1,000.67, right? That's expensive, is what most people would think. But the truth is, it's not. It's actually extremely undervalued right now. Keep in mind, all of the catalysts coming for Tesla. We have Giga Berlin, Giga Austin. We have deliveries coming out at the end of, or at the beginning of January. We have Elon, who's pretty much going to probably finish selling next week. I think he has one more tranche left. We're going to take a look at that in a second here. And then that's it. Right? Everyone's going to start piling back in. You have end of the year. We have window dressing going on. We also have potential credit rating improvements for Tesla. We have Q4 earning results. I mean, there's just so much to come out. But here's the bigger thing, and I talked about this in my last episode. The biggest thing people are not even talking about anymore, which is wild to me, is full self-driving, autonomous driving. Now, I know a lot of people keep commenting saying that they don't think that this is going to happen. They don't think we're going to get there. Let me remind you, people also said that Elon Musk was crazy for thinking that we could send and transfer money electronically. Well, he did that. People also said that he was crazy for starting a space company. Well, he did that. People said he was crazy for starting an electric car company. Well, he did that. The space company, they said that it was crazy for him to think that he could reuse rockets and make them land on a drone vessel out in the middle of the ocean. Well, not only did he did that, but he's done it multiple times, and he's had those same rockets land simultaneously. People said that electric vehicles will never take off. It'll always be a small little niche. Well, the entire industry is moving to electric vehicles now. The entire industry. In fact, I was just at a Christmas Eve party last night, and I met somebody who had a Mach-E. All right, this is the first person I've ever met who had a Mach-E, but they were absolutely obsessed with it. They were telling everybody in the room, oh yeah, my vehicle drove me here. Yeah, it's all electric, and they were just geeking out about it. And these were diehard Ford people. So the fact that even Ford people are sitting here ready to go in transition. Of course, we talked for a while, and they were essentially like bending the knee and bowing, saying, "Oh no, nothing compares to FSD. We know that they're way ahead, but Ford's all in. Ford is all in, and they're Ford people, and they're all in." So that just shows you where we are. Okay, so Elon has done all these things that people said is impossible or can't be done. So when he says we're gonna have robotaxi, when he says we will have full autonomous vehicles, I don't care about when so much as the fact that I really believe it's going to happen. And not just because Elon says it, but because I'm watching it. 10.8 came out officially today. Check it out. Videos are starting to come out. Chuck Cook just released one. They're starting to come out. But what you're going to see is that it is improving so quickly. It's iterating so fast now. Even if it takes another 3 years, right? My predictions by 2025, we'll start to see robotaxis. That's another essentially 3 years of this constant iteration of every 2 weeks. And right now, it's already insanely good. Check out Holmars on Twitter. He's been testing it all day, all morning. He's talking about how this is absolutely insane. It's the most amazing jump that he has seen so far with full self-driving. Now, I get it. There's all these obstacles that people can talk about. Oh, government regulation is going to stop it and all that. Listen, in my opinion, if government regulators haven't stepped in now when we're beta testing this and when we're doing a release, why would they stop it once it's actually complete or once we get to level 5? Look, if anything, if the objection is going to happen, it's going to happen now, not later. So anyways, all this just to say, this is the next thing. Full self-driving. I keep talking about this. I know I talked about it in my last video, but this is a big deal. So what people don't understand is that this is going to be the biggest market to have ever existed. This is going to be bigger than the energy business, which, by the way, don't forget, Tesla is also an energy company, and that is just slowly starting to turn, right? It's slowly starting to come up. We have a new mega pack factory that's going to be opening up, doing 40 gigawatt hours per year, right? That's going to be a huge amount of supply that Tesla's going to be able to have to fill the demand they have that's years behind at this point. But full self-driving, autonomous vehicles, that's going to be huge. And then Tesla will probably license that out because I don't think there's going to be multiple players in this space. Now, again, all that just to say that we are not even close to scratching the surface of it being too late and you missing out on Tesla. We are in early innings. These are early stages. And it's comical. I keep hearing all these people talking about, oh, but Ford's all in now. GM's all in. Lucid, Rivian, the Chinese. Okay, first of all, Lucid and Rivian are barely producing any vehicles. They haven't gone through the steps to really get to mass production. They don't understand that pain. And even then, look how long it took Austin and Giga Berlin to be built. So just that alone, for them to even get the volume, they're going to be so far behind. And Rivian is really more so in the small niche sport truck, camping type utilitarian use niche. Lucid is in the higher end market, right? I mean, their vehicles cost more than the highest end Tesla at this point. So those are two small niches. Ford, GM, look, I don't even think they're profitable at this point with the EVs they sell. GM, I don't really know what they're doing. They stopped producing the Bolt. They've delayed that. The Hummer is what they're coming out with first, and that wasn't even a popular vehicle to begin with when the Hummer came out. I don't know why they're starting with that. It makes no sense. And then they're just now going to start introducing a pickup truck, which I think is way behind compared to Ford. Ford has the Mach-E, but that's slowly coming out. It's not really ramping up the way I think it should, especially after almost a year in production. The F-150 Lightning, that's an exciting product, I think. I think that's actually going to have real mass appeal. So I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see how that comes out and how they ramp it up. But again, they've stopped taking reservations for that. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. But the point is, if it took Tesla about 2 years to create Giga Berlin, if it took Tesla about 2 years to do Austin, 1 year to do the Giga Shanghai, everybody else is at least 2 years behind because they need those factories to be built in order to create the production. And this whole idea of just reimagining a current factory for electric vehicles, I don't think that's going to cut it. I think we've seen people try that and it failed. And think about this too. Volkswagen, everybody keeps talking about, oh, they might be the one to come in and really challenge Tesla. Well, Volkswagen is in Germany, and Tesla is essentially getting Giga Berlin online and operational and built essentially faster than what they've ever seen done in Berlin or Germany, period. What is going to happen with Volkswagen? Right? They are just moving so slow internally as it is. What happens when they actually try to go through the bureaucracy of the government? It's going to just take so long. So who's left? Well, the Chinese. The Chinese are real competitors. They're the only ones actually looking at doing single piece castings, right? They're the only ones that are taking the page out of Tesla's book and actually trying to use it and trying to leverage it and not being stuck with, well, we already have all this investment in this gear and these processes, so let's just leverage that. No, wrong, because that does not work in a powertrain that really has the need to have as minimal amount of weight, as minimal amount of parts, the least amount of drag coefficient to get the most out of the battery pack. These things matter. So all this to say is that this is the uphill battle everyone else has. Tesla doesn't have this uphill battle. Tesla is about to have 2 brand new factories come online that could probably produce about 2 million vehicles out of each one by the time they're fully built out. So what's Tesla working on? Tesla's working on FSD. While everybody else is working on just trying to get to electric vehicles, Tesla's working on autonomous vehicles. Everybody else has their little, division where they have to say, oh yeah, this is our division of autonomous vehicles. Yet we see what's happening. Look at Waymo. What happened to them? They essentially lost their entire leadership. Look at Cruise. They just lost their CEO. I mean, it's laughable. It's not even close. And to think that all these other companies are going to get all these other things correct, batteries, manufacturing, powertrains, it's just not likely. And then you throw on top of that autonomous vehicles, not likely. It's just not likely. So again, all that to say, we are so so early when it comes to Tesla. There's so much room to run. We have not even scratched the surface of what's going to be the most valuable part of Tesla. And I think we'll start to see that 2024, 2025, especially at the rate of iteration that's happening with full self-driving now. Okay, I know that was a bit long-winded, but I think that this cannot be talked about enough. And it seems like all the full self-driving information and knowledge and what's happening out there and the improvements is being masked by people focusing on Elon Musk and his selling of shares and Giga Berlin, Giga Austin opening, or Giga Berlin being delayed, that everybody's forgetting that, this big deal, this next revolutionary product, not evolutionary, revolutionary, is about to come out. All right. And when I say about to come out, I'm talking about in the next couple of years. All right. This is when you want to start investing in these type of companies, not after it's already out, not after everybody already sees it, not after we already have, Ubers and Lyfts gone bankrupt because Tesla's taken over, or all these licensing agreements already happen with all these other car manufacturers. No, now's when we want to get in there. It is very obvious. Check out the YouTube videos. They're out there. Start from 8.2 and make your way up. See the iteration. Pick one YouTuber who actually goes out there and puts these videos out for FSD beta. Start with just 8.2 and watch what the progression has been. It is happening faster and faster. The progression of iteration looks like an S curve. All right, this cannot be dismissed. I can't stress this enough. It is going to be the next big thing. All right, I want to wrap this up by taking a look at where Elon Musk is currently with his Tesla stock share. So let's jump into that real quick. So jumping back in here into my little spreadsheet for Elon's 10% sale, we can see that on December 21st, he did end up selling the 934, right? We had two Form 4 filings. One was just delayed by a day. And then on the 22nd, again, we had another sale. Now, keep in mind, on both of these days, we're talking about 7 and 5% jump in the stock price, despite the fact that Elon was selling. So where does that get us to now? Well, now, again, assuming the 17 million, we're sitting at 87% completed. So what does that look like moving forward? How much more do we need? Well, if we add one here, that puts us 92. If we add one more, puts that 98. So I think he's got either one or two more. I don't think there's going to be an exact 10% sold. Let me delete these. I don't think there's going to be an exact 10% sold. And the main reason I say that is because of what Elon Musk said during the Babylon Bee interview. He kept saying, from what I recall, 2 to 3 times, he said about 10%, almost 10%. So he chose his words very carefully. That's not something that, Elon's not a person who just says words to say words. All right, I think he chooses his words carefully, and he understands that every single thing he says gets scrutinized, so he tries to be as literal as possible, to quote him, so that people don't have to read between the lines. So that's why I think that it's going to be just about less. So either 1 or 2 more sales I think we have, and I think we'll be done. And remember, I talked about this about, I guess, a week ago now, that one of the big catalysts will be within the last 1 or 2 tranches that he has to sell. We're going to start seeing a lot of these portfolio managers start to flood back in to get ahead of the anticipation of what's to happen. So we've got Elon Musk will be complete selling next week, and I feel 99% confident on that. So mark my words on that. I think on January 2nd or 3rd, we'll have the Tesla Q4 delivery numbers come out. That should be anywhere from 270,000 vehicles up, which will put Tesla in an amazing place, record year, absolutely on all fronts. Then we get the probably Giga Berlin announcement of it being ready probably in that first week as well. That's what I'm anticipating. And then we have Q4 earnings. January is going to be next week plus January. These next 5 weeks are going to be insane. And actually, you could say 6 weeks, because the week after Q4 earnings results, and mind you, Elon will be on that to give a product roadmap update. So add in the first week of February, the next 6 weeks should be insane for Tesla stock. So for any of you who are short-term call holders, again, I'm all about long-term investing, but if you are a short-term option call holder, this might be a nice little 6 weeks for you. So there's a lot to be optimistic. Long of the short, it is not too late. You have not missed the Tesla run. We are maybe in inning 3 out of a 9-inning game. Sports analogy. Sorry for those of you who don't watch baseball. Actually, I don't watch baseball either, but it's a good analogy. So in other words, we're in the early stages. This is just getting started. You have not missed a run. Just because the stock price is at $1,000+ does not mean you've missed it. Does not mean it's expensive at all. All right, look back at some of my other videos where I do my valuations. It's actually very cheap right now. Tesla should actually be trading, based on my models, over 2,000 right now. So there's a lot of room to run. We're going to leave it there. Do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, ring that bell. If for nothing else, it's a nice Christmas present to us. Also, don't forget, check out the merch store. We got some cool stuff there. If you like something, pick something up for yourself or a loved one. Again, Merry Christmas, happy holidays. I hope everybody enjoys their weekend and looking forward to Monday. All right, I love you all. Peace.